Welcome back into day one of American Basketball Media Day. Morgan Uber, Brooke Weisbrod, and Mark Adams with you. And now it's time to talk the Temple Owls. And for head coach Aaron McKie in his fourth season, really exciting to get Khalif Battle back off that foot injury. Went down December 1st. What's the ceiling for this team, Mark?
The ceiling's really, really high. I mean, this was a young team. Damian Dunn was a freshman last year. Khalif Battle was a sophomore. Jaleel White. I mean, this perimeter that Aaron McKie has put together is dynamic. They can guard. They can get deflections. They can dunk. They can create shots. Really hard to guard. And Aaron McKie, whenever I go to Temple, whether it be John Chaney, Fran Dunphy, and now Aaron McKie, I feel like I'm going to visit Yoda. I mean, so much energy and wisdom come out of them, all in one big flow. I mean, I love Aaron McKie. I love what he's done with this program. He's got that NBA pedigree. He coaches like an NBA coach. He gets input from his players. What a fun team to watch coming up this season. I can't wait to watch the Owls.
And I mean, 10 AAC wins without Khalif Battle. How good are they going to be with him in the lineup now? Yeah. I mean, the poor guy had heartbreak at the end of his freshman year, played just 7 games last year, now has a foot fracture, and now he's back. And I just love his willingness to get back there out on the floor. I think he's one of the most passionate players that we have in the league. And the best part, of being back is sometimes you can really learn from having watched so much basketball take place in front of you. I'm excited about this team. Damian Dunn, 15 points a game. It's going to be a really good Temple squad.
Dunn has that clutch gene, and we'll hear from him here in a little bit. But first, it's head coach Aaron McKie. We are so excited to welcome him into the American studios to talk about this team. Really high expectations this year. Picked 5th in the preseason poll. Coach, to have Khalif Battle back in the lineup, what's the single biggest thing that he really brings back in your offense?
Well, obviously his ability to shoot the ball and score the ball, which is something we desperately needed last year and segments of the season. He'll add that. He'll give us that scoring and shooting punch, and he's another guy that defenses have to really keep a close eye on. So we're looking forward to that, and I'm certainly happy to have him back.
Coach McKie, we have some media standing by, ready to ask you questions. I'm going to send things over to Chuck Sullivan with the American.
Thank you, Morgan. Welcome, Coach, and welcome to members of the media who just joined us. We can use the raise hand feature in the Zoom to join the queue. Then we'll get to your questions as many as we can. We'll start with Sean Pastor, please, from Owls Daily.
Hey, Aaron. So I'm going to make an assumption, right? This might be your best sort of offensive team, how it looks. And I wonder what that means as far as with Damian, potentially being more of a playmaking role, and if that's an expectation you have or where he might be in that development.
Yeah, he's always, been a playmaker for us. He's going to have to do a little bit more of that for this year. With the guys that we'll have on the perimeter, we have some guys that can space the floor for us, so that's important. Damian's more of a penetrator, scorer, playing inside the three-point line. And we have some guys that can stretch the floor in Zach Hicks and Khalif Battle and Hasir Miller. So that'll help Damian with his penetration and getting to the free throw line. And it'll also help those guys with, being able to make shots beyond the arc.
Yeah, and in a similar vein, if I'm going to assume that Hasir is, probably got the inside track to start at point guard, how does the point guard position look when he goes to the bench?
Well, we have to do it by committee. I think the way we play basketball, we play with 4 guards out there and one guy in the middle. And everybody have to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot and make decisions and quick, smart decisions. So sometimes it's Hasir, sometimes it's Damian, sometimes it's Khalif. So we have a number of different guys that I'm going to ask to be able to, handle the ball for us.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take the next one from John Titel, please, from Hoops HD.
Good morning, Coach. This year marks the 30th anniversary of your trip to the Elite Eight back in 1993. I was curious, can you believe it's been 3 decades, and what is your favorite memory from your run 30 years ago?
Wow. It seems like really yesterday. I'm reminded of that so much, especially being here on campus at Temple University. I think the biggest thing that I remember from it, it was just like my first interaction with, I want to say fans, waiting for you outside of the hotel when you come out to get on your bus and wanting autographs and, wanting your sneakers and stuff like that. And, we're looking around in Seattle, with some kids from Philadelphia, like, man, this is pretty cool. You can get this sort of attention from playing the game of basketball, then let's keep it going. So that was pretty fun. Being out in Seattle, again, being from the city of Philadelphia, get a chance to travel and see other places and see other things.
We'll go next to Josh Ferlin, please. City of Basketball Love.
Aaron, how you doing?
Good.
Speaking about the sophomores, Zach and Hasir, how important is their progression towards your team's success for this year, and have they made the steps that you wanted to see them make over the offseason?
Yeah, they're cornerstones. They're future cornerstones for this program. They responded last year where they got significant minutes and meaningful minutes, and they responded in that time that they got. They had a really good summer. Their bodies got stronger. They got a better understanding of the game. And I think with experience and being able to play and getting stronger at the college level, especially coming from high school and going to college, the game starts to slow down. And I think the game is really slowing down for those guys, and it's going to help them continue to grow as the elite players that I think that they can be.
Go next to Javon Evans, please, from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Aaron, back in March, you were talking to us about how you and Coach Ron Hunter down there at Tulane were talking about where you ranked in the preseason polls, how low you were, and how your teams weren't expected to do much. Fast forward now to October, and y'all come in at 4th and 5th. Can you talk about the leap that your program is taking and, what that dynamic is like?
Well, it's development. Both of us had young teams, and you could see the talent on their side, and you could see the talent on my side, and we were taking our lumps. But as you start to watch things unfold, you could see the growth, especially in my guys, and I'm looking. When we're playing last year, we're out on the floor. We got freshmen and sophomores playing. You have inexperience. You have guys who never played, full college basketball season, and just watching those guys grow and getting those minutes and playing and competing. You was just kind of, for me, it was getting a taste of the future and what it could potentially be. I'm not big on, what things look like on paper. You actually have to go out and play the games and compete. And that's sort of what the environment we try to create around here. Everything we do, we want to compete at doing it. And you watch these young guys compete every day, and you watch them grow every day. And, I think the future is bright for not only Temple University, but, Tulane's program.
We'll go next to Christopher Heidel, please, Herb FM Radio.
Hey, Coach. This is Chris Heidel from Herb FM Radio in Baltimore. You spent some time in L.A. with the Lakers. Did you learn anything from Phil Jackson, and do you take anything from Phil Jackson to your coaching style?
His patience, just being around Phil, he wasn't really a yeller, screamer. He's just patient. He gave guys room to grow as basketball players and make mistakes, and I think that's important. I think it's a trust that you build amongst coach and player and coach, and it's something that I try to do. They don't come with everything as a student athlete, and at this point, where they're at in their lives and where I'm at as a coach, you want to meet those kids where they're at and just try to give them the best experience as a basketball player and as a student athlete that you can. And that's just giving them room to grow and being patient with them.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Take the next one from Chris Gardner, please. Houston Round Ball Review.
Thanks. Coach, in your 4th year at Temple, how close is this team to being your idea of a team that you want at Temple?
We're getting there. I think with some of the pieces that we added in the center, and Jamil Reynolds, he give us a presence, just a big physical kid who can, play with his back to the basket. So that's something that we desperately needed on the offensive side and on the defensive side. I like our perimeter guys. I like our size. I like our length. I like our athleticism. I like our ability to be able to make shots. But, the biggest thing with that is if you watch any winning team, any winning program, any winning culture, it starts on the defensive side. So in order for us to be at the top of that American, we got to defend and we got to rebound that ball. And that's my hopes.
Okay, we'll go next to Josh Ferlin, City of Basketball up, please.
Aaron, one more for you. Diane Richardson, obviously, new to the Philadelphia area, and Temple. I was just wondering how much she's leaned on you and what kind of conversations you've had with her about, getting acclimated to the school, and obviously as someone who's got so much history there, what you've been able to tell her about what it takes to succeed there.
Well, I'm still cutting my teeth as a college coach, and she's been in this game a lot longer than I have, and so we're going to lean on each other. I step in and watch some of her practices. She sit in and watch some of my practices, and I like her passion and her energy, and I just said keep that. And she's going to do well. She's going to do some great things around here.
Coach McKie, it's Mark Adams. It's great to see you again, and I need my dose of Aaron McKie wisdom today. We've talked often, and we've shared some stories about our own families. As you lost your father when you were 9 years old. You lost siblings to sickle cell anemia. If it wasn't for Bill Ellerby at the Recreation Center, who knows where you would be today. With all of that life experience, what message do you bring to your team every single day?
Well, just be the best version of yourself every day. Be coachable, be a great teammate. All of those things are important because, this generation that we're coaching now or that we're around now, and everything is centered around them. Everything is about them. We totally forget about the human aspects of life. We're as simple as saying hello to somebody, or as simple as saying nice pass from a teammate, or pick one of your teammates up off the floor when they fall. And I'm about team. I've always been a selfless individual. I've always been a team player. And it's really what I try to get the guys to be every day. And when you do that, the success comes. And everybody's happy that way. And so, we just try to compete every day. We try to be selfless. We try to share the game, but most important, we try to be coachable, and we try to be great teammates.
Hey, Coach McKie, Brooke Weisbrod. I think one of the more human moments we've seen from your team in Khalif Battle was the way that his season ended as a freshman. And we talked about just the 7 games that he played last season. So he spent a lot of time next to you, next to your coaching staff. Outside of any basketball skill, what do you feel like has been his biggest growth, as a young man and as a human being since being injured?
Just patience. He's just got to be patient. He wants to hit it out the park on every pitch. And what I try to get across to him is just be a singles hitter. For those of us who's into baseball, just be patient. And, he wants it. He wants it bad. And every day we're trying to teach him how to be a winner. And a winner doesn't necessarily mean the guy that's leading in scoring or leading in assists or the guy that's getting all the attention. It goes back to those things that I just mentioned to you guys. It's being a great teammate. It's leading in the locker room. It's leading in the community. All of those things. And that's what we're trying to get him to be able to do every day. The basketball part is going to take care of itself. The kid is in the gym every day, works on his game. He's very consistent with that. But we're just trying to, get him to just be patient, and things don't happen overnight. The more success we have as a team, the more success he'll have as an individual. But he's a wonderful kid, and like all of them, they're all works in progress. And as I said early on, the biggest thing that I'm learning as a coach is I have to be patient with them because they don't come with everything.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Really looking forward to hearing from Khalif and Damian here shortly. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Patience, the word that Coach McKie used really throughout that entire time we were talking with him. Patient with himself, Khalif Battle having to stay patient. What else really stood out from that conversation with Coach McKie?
Well, first of all, I love the guy. I've had the privilege of calling his games and being around him in private situations where you just get to talk. And the wisdom that he brings to his team and to friendships is really inspiring. I mean, I would love to play for Aaron McKie. And what resonates with me on that patience, how many coaches do you hear talk about patience? Harley, anybody?
Not many.
It's always hurry up to get there, right? Yeah. And I understand that. Obviously I'm the same way. Look at me. I mean, God, I'm constantly just trying to get to the next thing. But Aaron McKie is a guy that's a calming voice. And think about how he is in the huddle. We're going to talk to Damian Dunn in just a minute with that, what you called that competitive clutch gene. Where does that come from? I believe part of that comes from Aaron McKie, that trust, that patience, that development of players, not just on the floor but off the floor. I loved your question about Khalif and I want to find out what he learned from his experience as well.
Yeah. I like that aspect too because we're in such an age right now where you feel like everything is pressured, it is hurried. But the moments where you grow comes in those pauses. And that's what I think he embraces. Not many other coaches do. And I also love the fact that, he acknowledged Diane Richardson as head coach on the women's side, the experience that she has, her success, and that he's picking up pointers, dropping in on her practices. So very cool.
By the way, real quick, I think I would have a suggestion for every American coach that women's coaches and men coaches swap teams for a day. I did it. I did it during my career and loved it. And it's a great way to grow as a coach. And it's a great way to grow your program and your camaraderie as well. So that's my one good idea for the day.
Well, it sounds like they're doing a little bit of that there at Temple with them leaning on each other. Richardson going to the men's practices and McKie attending the women's practices. Really looking forward to hearing from Coach Richardson here in a bit. But first, we have some Temple men's basketball players to talk to. You've heard so much about them. Now we get to talk to them. Khalif Battle, Damian Dunn, thank you both so much for taking the time to join us. And we have some questions from the media, so I'm going to turn things over first to Chuck Sullivan with The American.
Thanks, Morgan. And we'll get started with Sean Pastor from Owls Daily with questions, please, for the two student athletes.
Hey, Khalif. I feel like this is breaking news, but I just saw you tweet out maybe 25 minutes ago that you're getting off social media until the season starts. Is that something that just hit you, or you've had that in mind?
I kind of had it in mind, but today was like, the day that I'm just gonna, take a step back and just focus on the team, and I was just getting over that hump to be a successful team.
How do you, when you're out, on the sidelines for 8-9 months, how do you work on and develop defensively, right? I think I watched lots of videos of you shooting from a bench and shooting from the scooter and all that, but how do you, get better defensively over that course of time when you're sidelined?
Just watching film and, watching practice and learning where to be in certain spots and, just picking Coach McKee's brain. That's really what I try to do to, work on my defense. And then when I was healthy, I got out there, worked on my defensive slides and getting with Coach Ross, and, it'll be better this year.
I just want to ask also about, I think of everybody at Temple, all the student athletes, you might have been you've been the most public in NIL and T-shirts and like that. How has that gone? How much work has that been? How lucrative has that, been for you?
It's been well. I did it all myself. I had the help of, I had a little help of a friend to get the idea out there, but really, I invested inside myself, invested my own money. And, just wanted to kick it off on my own. And then later, different NIL companies reached out to me and, I just got it rolling like that, so.
Okay, thanks.
We'll go next to Javon Edmonds from the Philadelphia Inquirer, please.
Damian, you've got your partner in crime back in the backcourt with you, both of you preseason all-conference players. What's that dynamic going to look like to start the season off? And, as this looks like probably the last ride for both of you, how excited are you for this season?
We're both super excited. Just getting reacclimated to playing with each other again. Just putting it into existence now, just being able to have to play a full season together. I think that's something we've been talking about for a long time since our first day here. We haven't really had too much opportunity to play together, so I really feel like, with this being one of our last years, just talking every day about, how to stay healthy, things we have to do and steps we have to take every day just to keep getting better together and keep learning how to play and off each other and make each other better and our teammates as well. So we're definitely excited.
Season it was USC. This season it's Villanova. It's those big games early in the season. We know what you did in that second half against USC. Now Villanova's Big Five rival. How are you looking at that game? How are you getting up for it? How excited are you for it?
We're really excited. It's always been, I feel like, one of the key matchups in Temple history is just any Big Five game. With them just coming here and playing us in Liacouras on I think it's a later night game. So I think, just the anticipation of it. A lot of fans are going to be talking about the game early. But we're still taking those steps every day just to prepare for that big moment right now. So we're locked in on our team goals and ourselves right now, just trying to get better every day, working together, coming in to compete against each other. And when it comes game time, we'll be ready.
Okay, go next to Josh Verlin, City of Basketball, please.
Hey guys, really for either of you, the sophomores, Zach and Hyseer, obviously both got their feet wet and then some last year. What have you guys seen from the two of them in this off season, and where have they made the biggest improvements now coming into their sophomore years?
We think their growth has been real evident just from the summer, and we think it's really due to just all the experiences that they were able to grab towards the end of the year. I feel like coming into the summer, they've come in with the mentality that they're willing to get better. They're willing to guard and they're willing to be tough on both ends of the floor, and that's just something that we preach. That's our team dynamic. Now, I just feel like with those two being as young as they are, they aren't really going to be the ones who get the most recognition, but we know their value. We know what they bring to our team and how, important they are to us and, what they mean to us. So, we see them take those steps every day, just wanting to get better and wanting to learn. This is their second year of college basketball. They're still learning every day, just like me and Khalif are. And we think, later down the line, they're definitely going to break through.
Next to John Titel from Hoops HD, please.
Question for Khalif. You've only played 18 games combined over the past 2 years. So how is your health and how excited are you to finally get back on the court?
My health is great right now, hopefully it stays that way. I think it will this year. I've been, really focusing on getting in the training room and getting some extra treatment lately. But I feel great. I think, the team looks great, and I'm just ready to get out there and play.
Okay, next one will be from Jake Gable, please, WHIP Radio.
Hey, Khalif, you tested the NBA waters last season and decided to come back. Is there anything you learned from that experience you can apply to this season?
Just keep working. Really just what it is, I communicate with my teammates all, during the whole process, and they just telling them like little things like, what to expect. Because I feel like, we have a bunch of talented guys that all be, NBA talents for real. So, just talking to some, I think they know what to expect, when they go there. And, I learned my lesson. So now it's just like, I'm not even focused on that right now. I'm really just focused on the season and, just winning games right now. So.
And Dame, Temple kept a key 7 to 8 guys, but you have a lot of newcomers on the roster as well. How has the chemistry on and off the court developed for you guys?
It's been well. I think the transition for all of us has been pretty smooth for the most part. We're a welcoming community. Like, the team that we have here, previous to the guys who were new to the program, like, we're all welcoming. We're all humble. We're all like family. We treat each other like we're brothers. So I really feel like it was easy for all the new guys just to be acclimated and just to be comfortable with just being themselves around us. And I think that's what made the transition on court a lot smoother as well. And every day we're learning about those guys. We're learning about each other, and we attack it every day with the same mindset. And I feel like they've been valuable assets from day one, from everybody, from the newcomers, and we're just really excited for just for the Temple fans just to see what they bring to the table.
Take the last one from Nick Ganjaware, please, from Temple News.
Khalif, I know you've recovered and are feeling better physically, but how are you mentally preparing for the season ahead?
I feel like I have something to prove. I feel like I haven't proven anything yet. I feel like our team hasn't proven anything yet. And myself, as well as the team, I'm really just hungry. There's just so many things that we want. But like Coach McKie said before we got in here, it's all about being patient. So really, November 7th is the time where we get to show everybody, what we've been doing in the summer. And for everybody who plays college basketball, you can't hide when the season comes. So, really just the work is going to show. I feel like we put work in. I know I put the work in. I know the guy next to me put a lot of work in. So really, we just excited to show, how much better we got from last year to this year.
Khalif, this is Mark Adams in studio. Your mother challenged you to bake cookies so you could meet girls. I'm wondering how that's going, but I won't ask you that right now. And you're also the best teriyaki salmon baker in the world. I expect either cookies or salmon next time at Temple. But what I'd really like to know is that as you served your apprenticeship, if you will, because I watched you during timeouts, you were engaged. You were around Coach McKie a lot. As you went through the mental process of healing and the physical process of healing, what did you learn from Coach McKie?
Really, I was just trying to pick his brain on his approach to everything, whether it's a workout, whether it's a game, whether he's just coaching guys or giving them advice. I was just really trying to pick his brain and see, how he would go about things, because ultimately, he played in a place where I want to play. That's my dream to play, and he was successful there, and he played with the best players. So, really, if I could just, take all the tools that he's gained from the great coaches that were in the past from him, I think I'll be very successful.
Khalif, oatmeal, chocolate chip, or sugar cookies? One of those three. You got that?
I got you.
Atta babe.
We'll be sending you the address for the American offices, and we would love some of those cookies. I'll take all three flavors. Thank you, guys. Damian, Khalif, really looking forward to watching you guys play this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.